and a member of a football family that is essentially royalty. His grandfather, his father, his uncle, and his brother play or played in the National Football League. From the Packers, Clay Matthews is here. It's great to see you, Clay. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
Doing well, and you've led by you being here to my daughter skipping class. She said she's walking out of class and using the sling box she has on her phone to watch this segment.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, she's a fan.
What's her name?
Sydney.
Sydney, thanks for watching. Whichever camera's on me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, she'll be happy about
between that and Brady Quinn, she's happy.
She's probably going to leave school now.
All right, let's get into it here. Obviously, a year ago, this week was a very different experience for your team and you personally than a year ago. Right now, 15-1, you are by so far the best team in the NFL all season long, and then things just come apart completely in a playoff game with the Giants. Now that you've had a few weeks to digest it, what do you think happened?
We played our worst ball at the worst possible time. And that's really what it comes down to. And you can blame it on, having the bye week or taking a week off in week 16, 17 against Detroit. But really it comes down to we just didn't play like we knew how to. And that was a 15-1 record, a great team, the best team, coming off a Super Bowl championship. So ultimately we got to get back to the drawing board, fix those mistakes. And we're going to be right back here next year in regards to being a top-tier team.
We asked that of Greg Jennings yesterday, and I'll ask you, did you feel a difference in the year before when essentially that's what the Giants did this year? You're scratching and clawing just to get in, and you feel you have the momentum as opposed to this year where you kind of pump the brakes a little bit because you could take a little break.
Yeah, and you play this game to get that first-round bye and to have that home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But last year, obviously, having to win the last two games, having the momentum, moving forward through the playoffs, we're realizing it's a do-or-die mentality, and we move forward with so much momentum. And that's exactly what the Giants went through, and unfortunately, they got the best of us this year. So it's tough to beat a team with that much power within, and that was us last year, and that's the Giants this year.
Clay Matthews is with us. Obviously played the Giants twice in a fairly compact period of time with that big win that you had in their place, 38-35, and then they come back a few weeks later and beat you. Tell us about their offense. Give us a sense of what the Patriots are game planning for this week. What challenges do the Giants present offensively?
Well, obviously with Brandon Jacobs and Bradshaw back there, they have some potential to be very great running the ball, and they haven't done that well this year, but they can, and that's what's scary. But Eli's playing his best year by far, making plays. It's hard to get after him, really. I mean, you can get after him, but you don't deter him from throwing it downfield. Victor Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, they make plays all over the board, and they've been hot.
What do you think has been the biggest improvement of Eli?
It's hard to say. He's just making the plays, really. I mean, he's making the plays when he needs to preserve. I mean, you look at the San Francisco game. He's completing that to Manningham to have the go-ahead when, you maybe have not seen it in the past, and it's, he's doing well.
I talked about this frustration from a defensive side, but you're obviously out there, and I'd like you to try and relay it to everybody of how tough it is on a 3rd and 6, and you're in the huddle, and it's like, all right, one play, let's get off the field. And Eli, time and time again, moves the chains, and just how deflating that can be for a defense.
I think it was 3rd and 16 against us,
yeah.
and he was able to do that. And that's what's difficult is, you try and match up the best way you can, putting more defenders back there or rushing more, figuring out ways to get them off the spot. But when they complete those, it's very deflating. You have to do it all over again, and if he's able to do it again, it really wears on you. But as a defense, you like to hold up your end of your bargain. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that this year.
Clay Matthews is with us here giving us his Subway Fresh Take. You want crowd-pleasing catering for the big game? Order from Subway today. Subway, eat fresh. I have to believe going into any game, you think to yourself, here's the one thing we have to take away. What is the one thing you have to go into a game against the Giants thinking we're going to take away?
Well, first and foremost, you have to stop the run. If the Patriots have some success in that regards, you got to get after Eli. He makes that team operate. You're able to get after him, that game's over real quick.
How about?
But you have to get after him. That's the part.
Exactly.
No one has been able to.
That's the easy part.
How about the injury with Gronkowski? This has been the big talk about how you would go about defending him now, knowing he's got that bad wheel.
I don't even like going against Gronkowski. I mean, I played against him at Arizona. I thought he was the best tight end I faced, and last year as well, blocking, receiving, doing everything. So he's the ultimate package. With him down, a big part of that offense. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, they still have a bunch of studs on their team. Hernandez, Wes Welker, up and down the board. So Tom Brady at quarterback, there shouldn't be much of a drop-off. But
would you test him, though? I mean, should they get up and make him have to move and redirect to test the ankle?
I think he's an all-pro player. I think he understands what he needs to do. He's obviously been saying that he's going to have the last call, the ultimate call, and we'll see. But I think at a game of this magnitude, he'll be there. Maybe not at 100%, but enough to help his team.
Mike, Clay Matthews of the Packers is with us, and we mentioned, from the ultimate football family. Man, Golic is from a football family with the brothers and your dad, but you really are the ultimate. Tell us what it was like growing up. What are your recollections of being a little boy with your dad and your uncle and your grandfather and everything else being football?
Unfortunately, I was too young to truly appreciate what was going on within my family. Obviously, like you had mentioned, grandfather, uncle, father. Now I got my younger brother, my cousin, myself playing. But growing up, I just remember being surrounded by the game, and I just figured I was going to grow up and be an NFL player too. I didn't realize, how difficult it was going to be or what I was going to have, the obstacles I was going to have to overcome, but it all worked out.
Yeah, you overcame some obstacles, and it's worked out pretty well.